It's episode 67 of the Hodgepodge podcast. I'm your host, Doug.
And I'm Dirty A. As the name suggests, we're going to talk about a hodgepodge of topics from movies, music, TV, and other pop culture events.
And on this episode, we'll be discussing the results of the OSCARS, the movies Focus, and Hot Tub Time Machine 2. You can reach us at the hodgepodgepodcast@gmail.com or over on our website, thehodgepodgepodcast.com, or look us up on iTunes and YouTube and subscribe. And last weekend, from when we're recording this, so it'll probably be released later this week.
Yeah, probably.
But last weekend was the OSCARs. Not many surprises.
No, I think a lot of things were a toss-up anyway. But yeah, I think we only had one big-ish surprise that I think.
Yeah, the big surprise was that Irinitu won
The
for
director.
Best Director.
For us, anyway, that seemed like we thought Linklater was a lock for that.
Yeah. If you lived under a rock or you don't follow the Oscars, but then again, if you don't, why are you listening to this podcast? Unless you're just here for the Matt King episodes. He's not here today. I'm sorry.
Who would be here for that? That's crazy talk.
But no, the Birdman won the Best Picture. It won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
Won Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, which I was surprised about. It won, and Best Director were the major awards that it won. Michael Keaton did not win. That did go to Eddie Redmayne for his portrayal of the guy in Jupiter Ascending.
Which is not a surprise.
No, it's not.
I rewatched Birdman again this week, and Michael Keaton does an amazing.
Yeah, he's phenomenal
in that movie. He is that movie. So after watching that again, I almost feel like maybe he should have won for that more so than the movie won for Best Picture. But Eddie Redmayne cannot take away anything from that role. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
But anytime you have that sentimentality, of overcoming the odds type of story and role, that's always got the upper hand.
Well, the thing is about that is that some people were complaining that he's only doing an imitation, but doing an imitation of Stephen Hawking is not doing like an imitation of some guy just talking.
And also that is part of acting.
Yeah,
when you're doing a biopic.
Yeah, he had to like contort his body and so. He really did a great job.
Yeah, he did what the role called for.
But
he did it fantastically.
He did. I kind of would have liked to see Michael Keaton win it though, just because Eddie Redmayne's probably gonna have another chance.
I feel like that's never a good reason.
No, I know that. No, what I'm saying
that on top of the fact that he was so phenomenal, I feel that he was deserved for
counterpoint to that. This was probably Robert Duvall's last shot too, but I would have never said give him
the judge. Oh, you kidding me?
He did a good job.
That nomination came.
Well, because if you think about it, I thought about it again after that nomination came out, and like there were those scenes where because he was sick,
so teared up a little bit.
Yeah, he was dealing with like his illness and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did a good job, and maybe it's just the lacklusterness of the movie itself kind of soured me for that.
That movie was lackluster.
But so I after watching Birdman again, I think Keaton may have very well deserved it, and I'm surprised that the Academy did not give it to him just because he's been around so long.
Right.
That being said,
he ain't getting nominated.
That being said, as we all know, the Oscars is just kind of it's so fickle.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all
whatever way the
too.
wind blows. You know. And the other big thing about the Oscars is that they're calling it the Oscars now.
Yeah, they never called it the Academy Awards.
Never once did they reference it as the Academy Awards.
That's bizarre.
It's
like I can
marketing it differently.
Yeah, I can understand putting it on like your DVR or something like that for or your guide for that. But to call it at the ceremony, to not call it the Academy
Didn't
Awards.
reference it once as the Academy Awards.
Yeah. The biggest surprise for me, besides him winning director, was that Birdman won a Best Original Screenplay. It was definitely a funny movie. I felt that Grand Budapest Hotel should have won that. Wes Anderson, he can't win for losing.
I was surprised at that. But Birdman was pretty good screenplay. I was having a little slight debate with someone online, one of my old high school friends online, who basically said Birdman was a piece of shit.
A lot of people have said that,
and I just don't understand. I don't see it. Like the argument. This particular argument was that the plot boiled down to some like sixth grade type of script that pandered to the lowest common denominator type of argument. And I'm like, what? I was like, well, you know what else people read in sixth grade? Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Shakespeare's a piece of shit? Like that argument don't hold water for me. I thought I agree with you though. Grand Budapest was just so good all around, and it just didn't get.
Well, it's because they won some technical awards, some of that, but the Academy just really doesn't seem to like Wes Anderson. I mean, he gets nominated for like his screenplays, and then
it's just because of who he is.
I guess
it's so.
We just saw it again today.
It's so whimsical. It's hard to take serious.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, no, but that's the thing. It's like, that movie was hilarious. I mean, that was a straight up comedy.
No, it was.
So was Birdman.
But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, he does it. The way he does it, I think it's hard for a lot of people, including the Academy, to really take that stuff seriously. Yeah. But I was super happy that it got nominated. To see it nominated was great.
Julianne Moore was the foregone conclusion for Best Actress. She won for Still Alice,
which we can't really comment on.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. Patricia Arquette was also a lock for supporting actress.
Yeah, her and J.K. Simmons
like Whiplash.
Like we've been saying this for months now. They should have just handed it to him months ago. And
J.K. Simmons was the only mortal lock of the whole night.
Yeah.
And
Patricia Arquette apparently also was high on something.
I don't know.
She was kind of awkward.
Boyhood kind of, besides Arquette's Oscar, really went home empty-handed.
Got snubbed as far as winning goes.
And
because if y'all have been paying attention to this or listening to our podcast, that was the early favorite to win. It was winning a lot of the awards. Maybe BAFTA. I don't remember what it actually won.
But I forget what it won, but it won.
But it was the early favorite, and about a month and a half ago, the tides kind of turned in favor of Birdman, and so that seemed like it was.
The other thing I got into,
but we always assumed that Linklater was going to win for.
We thought he was a lock for director because of the way they did it.
Yeah.
And we thought that Birdman would win for cinematography or something like that because of the one shot thing. I kind of got into it with a friend of mine online. He is a veteran, and he posted something that. It was basically like an infographic that said Birdman made $67 million and American Sniper made Now he was sharing this. This wasn't his infographic, but he was sharing it. It said 400, and then it said Oscars equal Hollywood fail. And I was basically like, by that logic, Transformers 2 should have also won the Oscar for Best Picture.
Since when does or should box office draw be the deciding factor of the winning,
or that denote quality for that matter. So we kind of got into it, and he said Birdman. He thought Birdman was crap, and I said, and that's fine. I said I like the Hurt Locker better than American Sniper, and he was like, I saw those guys over there, and I said, he goes, and they just did this, and
Hurt Locker is a much better movie than American Sniper.
Exactly, but he was going based on his experience dealing with people like that, and I'm just like,
look.
I'm sorry, but
when we talk about this, we're not talking about the real situation,
right? Exactly.
We're not criticizing any real situation. We're looking at a movie.
Right.
The Hurt Locker is a much better movie than American Sniper. Honestly, I'm not even sure why American Sniper was nominated.
Exactly. And
Bradley Cooper, yes.
Yeah.
But American Sniper, no clue why.
Yeah. And another comment that I made was that between Birdman and American Sniper, I said that in my personal opinion, there were 4 other movies that were nominated that are better than the 2 of them. Yeah. So it's like But it's like it's that whole America thing, that crap. It's just like
Well, again, I'm fine with that, whatever. But that doesn't make it a good movie. It doesn't make something a good movie.
Yeah,
because it's quote unquote patriotic or.
Well, it's about America, so it is a good movie.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, that was our Oscar thing. If you want, you can go to the site and we did a live blog.
We live blogged it.
Live blogged again. That's our second annual live blog of the Oscars. And you can check that out. We had some pretty good comments here and there.
Neil Patrick Harris did a pretty good job.
He was decent.
It wasn't anything spectacular.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about.
I mean,
the
his
segment was all right.
It was.
I enjoyed it.
It was way too long, and
it's always this.
Yeah, but sometimes they come in under. I mean, it was way too long, and then at the end, he did the payoff for that stupid magic box,
that ongoing box,
and it was
gag.
just like.
And I looked at Doug halfway through, and I said, "There's no way this box gag pays off, is there?" And Doug's like, "Nope."
I mean, to me, like my biggest complaint about that was like Conan O'Brien had the greatest box gag when he did the Emmys a few years ago. He had Bob Newhart in the oxygen tank, and he's like, "There's exactly 3 hours of oxygen in here. If we go over, Bob Newhart dies." And Bob Newhart's like, "What?" So that was the best box gag that I ever saw. But I mean, he was decent. I guess it was all right. I mean, to me, song and dance guy, I still think Hugh Jackman did the best of those types of folks. And I liked Ellen last year too. I thought Ellen was cute. She was funny.
Yeah.
Some of the Neil Patrick Harris stuff I thought was kind of forced, but
it didn't play well.
He's probably better doing it to Tony. That's his element.
That's his ultimate.
That's more his element.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, he was fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
But overall, it was okay. I mean, I was glad Birdman won, because if Boyhood had won, I would have been kind of pissed.
Yeah, we have, Doug and I have been quite outspoken about our feelings on Boyhood.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, but we just didn't see the draw for Best Picture.
Yeah.
There.
And same goes for American Sniper. I mean, we didn't hate American Sniper either, but it didn't really deserve.
Although
to get
even I would say Boyhood deserved to be nominated, maybe more so than American Sniper.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Just because you have to recognize it, at least for the technical shit that went into it.
Yeah. And I think Linklater's already starting his next project.
Yeah.
Boyhood 2 is a possibility in the future. It's like, really? Come on,
dude.
What did I say? What did I say when they announced the Best Picture? There's 12 years wasted in that guy's life.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the other thing is too, one of the favorite things I said was that when Eddie Redmayne won, I was like, the Wachowskis can't even ruin careers properly either.
That was such a bad
As we
movie.
kind of predicted they might with Jupiter Ascending.
That was such a bad movie. But no, it was a pretty predictable all around. It was a pretty predictable.
Well, it has been for the last several years. I mean, it just
there haven't been
so
many
surprises.
There haven't been many coin tosses.
There's so many award shows that lead up to it that it's just like it becomes a foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
It kind of robs it of its specialness and its mystery, basically. Some sad news yesterday came out. Leonard Nimoy passed away. He had been ill, and I think last week or something like that, they rushed him to the hospital.
He had chest pains,
and then he passed away yesterday.
83.
Yeah, 83, and of course his last words were basically "live long and prosper." That was like the last tag in his.
God.
Yeah.
That's.
So there's,
he lived a long. He did. He literally lived long and prospered.
He did. I mean, it was he lived a great life.
And I never. I've always said that I've never watched Star Trek. Like I've seen an episode here and there.
Right.
I've never followed Star Trek. I think I would have loved it.
Right.
I just never got into it.
Right.
But you can't deny, Leonard Nimoy's iconic status in pop culture.
Yeah.
That's
his culture
live
impact
forever.
is huge. Yeah. So that was sad. That was sad to hear that he passed away. Other stuff that's going on in movie news. Steven Spielberg came out and said he wants to direct an Indiana Jones reboot, and he wants Chris Pratt in it. And I'm just like,
well, I think that was a response to a question, right? Like, would you like to see this? Because I think there are already rumors of Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah.
And then he came out and said, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Maybe that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love Chris Pratt. I can't see him as Indiana Jones.
We talked about this, and like you said, I still see Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, I think Bradley Cooper
much better fit.
Yeah. Much better fit for Indiana Jones
for sure.
Than Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt, honestly, I mean, he basically plays him in Guardians of the Galaxy, but he would almost be a better fit for Han Solo. But he basically plays that guy.
And again, we love Chris Pratt. We're
for
this particular role.
Nothing against Chris Pratt at all. It's just that with Indiana Jones, you have to balance the wisecracking adventure with the archaeology professor, and I just can't see Chris Pratt doing I can't buy him as the archaeology professor.
Yeah.
he's been Andy Dwyer.
He's been Andy Dwyer, for God's sake.
Way too long.
Yeah.
So, Parks and Rec also ended.
Like Johnny Karate.
Yeah,
Johnny Karate teaches archaeology.
Parks and Rec ended. It was a good finale. I liked it.
It was.
It was a sweet finale. I guess they kind of implied, a spoiler alert for people who haven't watched it, I guess they kind of implied that Leslie goes on to become president of the United States.
Yeah, with the graveside scene. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But of course, at that point in the episode, you're not sure which one of them it is.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was a good episode. It was a nice send off for Parks and Rec. It was a great show.
I died when they brought back the Cones of Dunshire.
Yeah.
Cones of Dunshire. Road to Tremora. Gameplay Magazine called it punishingly intricate. I died. I was like, that was awesome. That was the best.
So that was a really, really good show, Parks and Rec. If you've never watched it, catch up. It's on Netflix and stuff like that, so you can always go back and watch it.
In a lot of ways, it was funnier than The Office, the American version of The Office. In a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
But yeah,
same format.
Yeah. It's that's a really tough comparison, but
I like the American Office a lot, though.
Oh, I do too. I love it.
The American Office gets kind of slagged off a little bit by some people, just because the British one was so great. But it's also the British one is
they are different though.
They are different shows because it's their run was so short.
Yeah.
So of course the American one was going to have some duds here and there because it ran on so long. Yeah. I mean, how was it long? For like 9 years, something like that?
A long time.
Wasn't that long? No,
it's
6, 7?
7 maybe.
Something like that. I'll have to look that up, but not right now. But Parks and Rec ran for about 7 years, and it's a good show. It was a really good show. Amy Poehler, she was never my favorite on Saturday Night Live, but I loved her as Leslie Knope.
Yes,
I thought she was great. In fact, when the 40th anniversary Saturday Night Live thing came on, I almost forgot that she had been on Saturday Night Live because she's been Leslie Knope for so long I forgot she was even on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, it's 2005 to 2013, so
it's 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years.
I assume that counts the seasons every.
Yeah, 8 years, probably 9 seasons, I guess. Once you count it all up.
But yeah. Anyway,
9 seasons.
Parks and Rec, great show. You should definitely look that up if you haven't been watching that.
In other TV news, I got a great surprise this week when it was revealed that Disney is going to relaunch DuckTales. Woo!
Now, man, they're really jumping the gun on this because we're talking about 2017.
Yeah. Well, they got to animate it, so I mean, it takes longer.
I'm not talking about. I know it takes a long time, but I'm talking about to announce it now seems a little premature. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's just like, really, you want to get everyone's real hyper now about this?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I don't want to say underrated because it was pretty popular.
It was.
But as far as cartoon animated children's cartoons go, that was I felt it was pretty underrated.
It was underrated. Yeah. DuckTales was, and we've talked about it on the podcast before. DuckTales was a fantastic cartoon, and it's got everything. It's like I said, about my book, Great Big World. I kind of drew a little bit of inspiration from DuckTales because they kind of do like what Marvel Comics does and pilfers from all these different genres and just puts all into one thing. I love DuckTales. I actually I was at Target and they had all 3 seasons. They were all like $9 or something like that. Like all 3 seasons. I was like, what? And then I was at, it might have been Target again. It was Best Buy. I was at Best Buy and they actually had the movie. The Treasure of the Lost Lamp. I was like, yoink! I was like, I'm buying this! So now I own all the DuckTales.
Nice. Until 2017.
Until 2017. And then I'll have to watch Disney XD or
whatever that is, yeah.
Whatever. I think it's the same channel. Is that the same channel that Rebels is on?
Yes.
I don't even watch that either. Oh, no, I did. I watched the first couple episodes. It wasn't bad.
I think if it's not the next one, it was the past one. They said they finally introduced Darth Vader in that.
Yeah. So. Well, Darth Vader was in. I think they showed like a recut version of the first episode on ABC, and Darth Vader was in that recut version. Okay. All right. Yeah. I want to say James Earl Jones maybe did his voice too on that. I can't remember that.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I haven't followed anything about that.
I thought James Earl Jones also did the voice for that Arby's commercial, but it's not him apparently. I was on some site. We have the meats. I mean, listen to that commercial. It sounds like James Earl Jones. But then I read on a website somewhere that it's Ving Rhames. I'm like, it doesn't sound like Ving Rhames though. Huh. But I don't know. It could be him doing a James Earl Jones impersonation. Maybe I don't know.
Ving Rhames, could we hire you to do James Earl Jones voiceover impersonation?
Hey, he did Don King in that movie. You know.
Another other big news in the movie world is huge for me. Is that Neil Blomkamp has come out and said, well, it was speculated that he had taken it upon himself to kind of write a little screenplay, do a little mock-up for an Alien sequel. Mm-hmm. And now it's been announced this week that he will indeed be doing a new Alien movie, an original screenplay of his, and it will basically be kind of odd the way they're doing it. They're going to fit it in between Alien 2.
Are they though?
That's what they said.
Because I thought what he kind of said was, because if she's going to be in it, she's too old to be in between.
I would agree.
I think what they said was, I think he said it's going to be more in the spirit of the first two, but I think it's got to come after.
No, I would agree, but no, it literally said it was going to the story. I'm talking about the story is coming in between 2 and 3. So the story is supposed to be a bridge between 2 and 3.
How?
I don't know.
I thought the bridge was that the ship got fucked up.
I don't know, but
two of them are dead,
that's what it said. I guess we'll have to wait. I mean, this is very early on, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's probably going to change.
But that is very early on. But this is really great news for the Alien franchise because Neil Blomkamp is on a hot streak now, and he's okay. At least he's original.
I guess.
I think he's very original.
I mean,
he's doing. If you don't know, he did District 9, which was very hot when it came out, very good. And then he went on to do Elysium, which was very mediocre.
It's disappointment.
And now he's got his new one coming out, Chappie, that opens next week. Next week.
Yeah,
as we record this.
Yeah, that'll be on our next podcast.
But I think he will serve this franchise well.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a very talented filmmaker. The thing I had an issue with was that he did come out and say that he did fuck up Elysium.
Just this
week. And he was like, I got so excited about the concept. He basically admitted that he got so excited about the concept that he left the story and the screenplay at the fucking door. And it's just like, dude, you're a filmmaker. That's the most important part of the whole fucking thing. So that worries me a little bit. About
as a screenwriter, that's the most important.
Well, no, but I mean, if you don't have a good script, I mean, the fucking movie sucks no matter what. So it's like, that worries me going forward with his stuff, especially for Chappie.
For Chappie, for sure. Hopefully, he's learned his lesson.
But what happened was he did this stuff in his own time, and then he threw it up on Instagram. It was a concept art.
Yeah.
And then Fox came to him and said, do you want to do an Alien movie?
Which, by the way, for sure he was doing that as a play.
Oh,
to make the movie.
For sure.
His, which was brilliant. It was great.
For sure.
But I'm really looking forward to that. That's certainly well off. But
I mean, if it's in the vein of Aliens, I'll be.
I assume we'll see Prometheus 2.
Well. Prometheus 2. Oh, and there's one other last piece of news that we should mention. We already talked about Indiana Jones. We might as well talk about the man who actually is Indiana Jones.
That's right.
Harrison Ford. It's been announced that he is confirmed. He will be in the sequel to Blade Runner, and the director they're looking at is Denis Villeneuve, who did Prisoners and Enemy.
Enemy was fucked up weird movie.
So he if you're gonna get a guy to do that, he's the right guy.
I'm maybe a little outspoken on this. I, for whatever reason, surprisingly enough, if you know me, I'm not a big fan of Blade Runner.
I love Blade Runner.
I know. I don't know why. I need to revisit it, but it's still big news. It's really big news. Deckard be coming back. So.
Yeah. And they, and people were like, "Oh, well, how's he going to be in it? Because isn't he a replicant?" People have to understand that was Ridley Scott's thing. Ridley Scott was like, "He's a replicant," and it's like. Even Philip K. Dick was like, he was the author of the book. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and he was like, no. He's like, the whole point of the book was him falling in love with a robot. That was the whole point.
Right. It never ever says that he's a replicant.
Right.
That was just
Ridley Scott's
interpretation that the director made after the fact almost.
Right.
Right. But that'll be big. I don't. Did they throw any dates out for that yet?
No. But
Harrison Ford, he's hot again. Fucking Han Solo coming, bring back the retro.
Yeah.
He's
it depends on how you look at it, though. He's coming to ruin all his franchises.
Yeah, that's true. I did not say that they would be good. I said,
congratulations, congratulations, fans.
Yeah. Oh, I got some other big news. If you're local in Raleigh, Raleigh Comic-Con Wizard World it's coming here March 13th through 15th, and David Tennant is going to be here. I said David Tennant's going to be here. 10th Doctor in the house.
Barty Crouch Jr.
What?
Nice.
David Faustino.
God, he is going to be here.
And William Shatner as well.
Yeah, William Shatner will be here too.
It's pretty big. It'll be a pretty big con.
Yeah, Wizard World is interesting because it has truly become a con about. It's truly a con. It's become a con of
more out of your money.
More TV and movie stuff. But what's funny is that Wizard originally, the original Wizard was a comic book magazine,
strictly comic books,
comic books, and so like when Dirty A is like, oh yeah, Wizard World's coming up. I immediately go and say, oh, what creator's going to be here? I'm like, nobody I really want to see. Yeah. Rob Liefeld's going to be here, though. I'd love to go up to him and say, you fucking hack. But I was hoping like someone like Chris Claremont might show up or something like that to talk X-Men. But that's mainly all movie and TV people. I know Lori from...
Better for me.
Yes, I know Lori from The Walking Dead's going to be here. We just want to walk up to her and go, Coral! So yeah, I'm on the fence yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to go yet or not. But
yeah,
Dirty A is...
me neither. Oh wait, VIP passes, David Tennant right here. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I told Doug that I'm going to cosplay as David Tennant playing his detective role in Broadchurch, and not reference Doctor Who once.
You just have to stand there in a trench coat looking very sullen.
Just look very sullen, yeah, exactly right.
And then fall to your knees at some point.
And then sweat and fall down, yeah.
One last bit of news before we get to the movies. I haven't finished it yet, but Dirty A has already finished Season 3 of House of Cards, which premiered yesterday.
That's right. That's right, folks. 13 episodes, which probably accounts for 10 to 11 hours. I got up at 3:30 in the morning.
God. My God.
It dropped at 3 a.m. East Coast time.
You need help.
I got up at 3:30 in the morning, and about 7 p.m. I was done with watching all of them.
You need help. You need help. I'm through episode 5. And it's good.
And by the way, we'll podcast about it. But
yeah, we'll talk about that when I'm
finally
finished with it.
It is a very solid season.
Don't worry, it won't be like House of Cards season 2 where I took a whole year to wait to watch it.
Yeah,
I will finish this hopefully this week, but we'll see what happens.
It's worth watching though, folks.
But yeah, it's good. It's a lot subtler than the other two seasons. Right. I felt.
Yeah. Like that's what I told you when I got done watching.
Yeah.
It's if there's a reason why people are reviewing it weaker,
mm-hmm.
it's simply because it's not as fast paced as far as
it also doesn't have those major like my God
right, as far as I don't want to give anything away,
right.
But
although there is a big oh my God at the very beginning of the first episode.
There is.
I mean, I was like, holy
but there's no big surprising crazy death scene type of thing.
Yeah.
And as you point out, I mean, he's president now. He can't get away with that.
Yeah, he can't really get away with that shit anymore. Yeah. So it's yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it up. I'm on episode 5, and it's been good. It's been good. So,
don't you worry.
Oh,
there's more to watch.
But see, I make fun of Dirty A, but I'm also toying with the idea of taking off work on April 10th so that I can do the same exact thing he did with Daredevil.
Listen to you. Listen to you. All right.
Daredevil. Can't wait. They've released a poster for that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's Matt Murdock with a smirk on his face, and he's tightening up his tie, and then his freaking knuckles are all bloody and shit.
It
awesome.
looks really good. Yeah.
I can't wait. Daredevil.
So anyway,
but let's get into these two turkeys we saw the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll start with the one we saw last week. We saw Hot Tub Time Machine 2. This is clearly the sequel to Hot Tub Time Machine. And I felt...
Quick. Our friend told me that originally they wanted the title to be Hot Tub Time Machine 3 because they wanted to pretend like they had gone back and destroyed Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I was like, that would have been brilliant.
That would have been awesome.
But, I guess the producers thought that was too tricky.
Confusing, too confusing.
But that would have been hilarious.
That would have been hilarious. Hot Tub Time Machine was, I guess, it became like a cult hit, I guess, after it came out.
I mean, sort of.
I mean, it made money. It made money,
yeah.
and so they commissioned a sequel. The problem with Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is that
just the one.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that the anchor from the first movie isn't in this movie.
John Cusack was the star.
John Cusack was the star of the first one.
Now, granted, since then, like Craig Robinson, he's gotten big. He's gotten like larger, more popular,
and Rob Corddry.
So,
but the thing is with that is that my argument with that is that John Cusack was the normal guy in the group, right. So he was the anchor. He was like the pivot that everything went around. So it made sense that the story was about him, and it actually was like a real story in the first movie. Yeah. This movie,
interestingly enough, this story is about him.
Yeah, and
because they're searching for him at first,
right?
But he's not in it.
Yeah,
like, they have a photo of him.
Yeah, and so the main, I guess I would say the main character in this one is Rob Corddry. His character Lou,
sure.
Who at the end of the first movie basically used his knowledge of the future to create Google, which he calls Loogle, and now he is like this internet mogul. And Craig Robinson's character basically rips off pop stars of his past, but it's the future, and he basically records their songs before they can with changed lyrics because he can't remember all the lyrics. And Clark Duke...
That's my favorite line was when he whispers under his breath, "I'm so sorry, Lisa Loeb."
Yeah, that's right.
She's a
dog wrangler.
He does a rendition of Stay by Lisa Loeb, that one hit.
Say.
And Lisa Loeb shows up as the cat wrangler in the video. Yeah. And he's like, as she walks away, he says sorry. He goes, "I'm so sorry, Lisa Loeb."
She's like, this song is very it touches
really
me.
Spoke to
it really spoke to me. Almost like what did she call it? It was like almost like he said like she almost said like he raped her or something like that. Something like
I feel raped.
Yeah, something like that. So, but I would say Corddry is the main character. And Clark Duke, I'm sorry, Clark Duke plays. He found out at the end of the last movie that he is Rob Corddry's son, and he's basically treated like a butler in Rob Corddry's house. All these guys are side characters. They're all side characters.
And the funny thing is, even on the screen, when they're the only ones on the screen, they're still all individually playing as side characters. It's really odd. It's a really weird dynamic going on.
Yeah, there's no anchor, and they bring in Adam Scott into it, who
completely misused.
Yeah, they bring in Adam Scott, who is usually like the snarky smart guy, and in this he plays like a naive dude, and it doesn't play well, and it just doesn't work, and he's basically the butt of their jokes and stuff like that. Now, don't get us wrong, there are some really funny moments.
That's what I was getting ready to say. All this being said, we did laugh quite a lot.
Yeah, we did laugh a lot.
Technically, this is a terrible movie.
Yeah,
but you will laugh.
You will laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, the game show that they go into in the future is fucking hilarious. Hosted by Christian Slater, and I thought it was supposed to be
Christian
right.
Slater.
I thought it was supposed to be Christian Slater, but he's actually playing a character. Choosy Doozy, and that show is fucked up, and it's so funny. That's the best scene.
That was the best scene.
Well, aside from the fact when Clark Duke's wife comes down and you'll see this scene in the trailer, and she's wearing a bra. She ain't wearing no bra in this movie. That girl's hot. Her name's Bianca Haas. She is beautiful.
Yeah, she is. The funniest part in the movie.
But the funniest movie is Choosy Doozy. Oh my god, that was so funny and fucked up.
Oh, you got lucky. You almost had to eat a bunch of waffles.
How about waffles? So it's definitely funny. I mean, you'll laugh, but don't go to the theater and see it. You can catch this on cable or something like that when it comes on. HBO or something like that, because it is a hard R. I mean, this is like a if you like raunchy, crude comedy, you'll like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
But again, it's Hot Tub Time Machine too. It's just that I never thought I would ever say that Hot Tub Time Machine, which was a gimmick in itself, is far superior to this movie.
Yeah.
Just because there was that. Because the thing with Hot Tub Time Machine was that it was very
nostalgic. It was that retro feel.
Well, it was nostalgic, but it was also clever because it's set in like a ski lodge. John Cusack's in it, and then that reference is Better Off Dead.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I mean, it was just...
that's what I mean by that. It
was...
You can pull these references.
Right. It was clever on multiple levels.
Whereas this one is set in the future, so, I mean, it's like you can reference current things that are going on that, you know, wink, wink, nod, nod to the, oh, look, you know, it's the future now, but it's not, it's not clever in the same way, but again, there's no way you won't laugh.
No, though they did predict that Jon Stewart would no longer be the host of The Daily Show.
Yeah.
But,
by the way, that tying this into House of Cards, that was my reference in House of Cards. I said, this is so unrealistic. Stephen Colbert's not even on air anymore.
Yeah, right.
He was on there.
Yeah, because there's a scene where Stephen Colbert is still on.
Yeah. So anyway, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, no reason to go see this in the theater.
No.
Not even for matinee prices. But when it hits cable channels,
you'll laugh. Have at it. Yeah. You'll laugh. If you like that kind of stuff. If you don't like boobies, you won't like this movie.
Yeah, but both Adam Scott and Jillian Jacobs. They're both.
Yeah, we forgot even to mention her. She's completely. And that's the other thing too.
She was not even misused.
About that girl, about the girl that plays Clark Duke's wife in the future, Bianca Haas. I wish that they had given her more to do too. Like her character is completely underdeveloped and underserved, and just like Jillian Jacobs. Jillian Jacobs was wasted in this movie completely.
I feel like what they did with this movie was
Chevy Chase is barely even in it.
Yeah.
He's in it for like a scene, and that's it.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, he's Chevy Chase, and we're not.
Yeah. I feel like what they did with this movie was they had all these futuristic concepts and ideas, and then they just tried to figure out some way to tie them all together. Like they take a joke and they'd be like, "How can we make this fit into this paradigm?" And that's never a good way to start writing a screenplay.
How can I make choosy doozies?
God damn, that was funny.
So that's Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot tub.
Hot tub. Come, lover, let's go to the hot tub.
Off in the distance, we heard Indian drums playing.
I wish they were in that movie.
Yeah,
I wish it was Will Ferrell's character and Rachel Dratch from Saturday Night Live. Hot tub.
Yeah. So the next one we saw, we actually just saw it tonight.
Yeah.
So this is a fresh review.
Fresh review.
I mean, it's fresh in that we just saw it. In terms of Rotten Tomatoes, it will not be so fresh.
Well, you can say we're going to be fresh and that we're going to slap it around a little bit.
Right.
Fresh.
So we're the movie we just saw just came out this weekend. It's Focus. Mm-hmm. It's a new movie starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
Who was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street was her first big break, yeah. And this is a let's call it a typical con man story. Will Smith plays kind of an established con man, and Margot Robbie is kind of new to the game, if you will. She's a lower tier.
It's as if George Clooney's character and Matt Damon's character from Ocean's 11 had a love affair.
Yeah,
and that would basically be Focus.
Yeah, so it's basically Will Smith and Margot Robbie on screen doing a bunch of cons.
Right.
And then there's one big con that tries to tie it up at the end. I mean, that's as simple as I don't know how detailed we can get into the plot of this because that's as simple as it gets. For me, it was odd because it's not that we didn't necessarily enjoy sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
But everything about the movie was completely. It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's been done better. I think I said the all the quote unquote unpredictability in the movie was so predictable.
Yeah. There's not. I mean, it's not a terrible movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's, it was an enjoyable movie to watch. You know, Will Smith looks like Will Smith. He's got his swagger back a little bit. You know, after the disaster that was After Earth, and even Men in Black 3 was kind of not that good.
He was already losing a lot of steam.
Yeah, he was already, because he'd been out of the game for a while, focusing on his kids' careers basically. So he's kind of got his
fuck that up.
Yeah, he's kind of got his swagger back a little bit in this movie, which is good. It's a nice supporting cast. Margot Robbie does a good job. I liked her better personally in Wolf of Wall Street, but that's because it's a better written role.
It's a better role, right? Exactly. Right.
This movie, nothing really bad happens.
No. It's and even you never feel any real conflict.
And even when something bad does happen, they explain it away. Like, it's like, oh, that was a big con, and we did it. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. It didn't. But at the same time, I liked it. Like, I liked watching them on screen. Now, I will say,
I won't go so far as to say I liked it. I'd say if I don't really rate things, but if I did, this is probably a C plus or C.
Yeah.
C.
Yeah.
So to say I liked it may be a little overboard, but again, it's not terrible.
There's a lot of wonky dialogue in it. Gerald McCraney's in this,
and nothing he says rings true to me. His whole character,
he seems a little too cranky for somebody.
It's really weird, really weird. The dialogue they give him, just I sat there the whole time going like, I don't see that guy saying any of this stuff.
Yeah, the clearly, if you've watched the trailers, there's a love affair going on between Will Smith and Margot Robbie. That even wasn't that believable to me, because it would have been more believable. I like the way they met. You know what I would have liked?
But they ruined that shit in the trailer.
They did. They ruined a lot of stuff in this movie in the trailer, and I was afraid that the part where she says, "Just like I just conned you," I was afraid that was going to show up at the very end of the movie. I was going to be livid.
Yeah.
But you know what I wish they would have done, because there is a time jump in this movie. They jump 3 years ahead. After the first job, I wish that they had met in New York and then they jumped ahead and then jumped ahead again, so that you could have gotten more substance to their relationship, because basically they know each other for a week
and they're like 3 years later they're in love with each other.
They're still in love with each other. It's just like, what? You knew each other for a week.
Yeah, it doesn't make
you know, so it's like it just didn't ring true to me.
Also, maybe I just figured this out in my head, but I hate to talk about this to give away a big spoiler, but I won't say who he is. But Gerald McCraney's character, he was so trusted by this guy.
Yeah.
So was he in that position for years?
No, he was there for like 3 years. He said.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, that's an Ocean's 12 twist that they did in Ocean's 12. Yeah. I mean, and a lot of this movie.
Look, there are long cons, but come on.
And a lot of this movie did remind me a lot of the Ocean's movies, you know, because and the Ocean's movies I felt did it better.
That's what I was about to say. Let's do way better, right?
Even the self-indulgent Ocean's 12.
That's what I said. All this stuff has been done before and better. It's just
it's funny because just on AMC just the other day, I guess when we had our snowstorm or whatever, just the other day, Ocean's 11 was on, and I did watch it. And I love Ocean's 11.
Such a fun movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a freaking fun movie.
It's a fun movie, great movie. You know, and it's like you said, you know, they did all this stuff better. And again, and it gave me what I wanted from this movie, Focus. You know, like the love affair between Julia Roberts and George Clooney. They were married before you. He went to jail, and
it makes sense.
You know, he did have to change. You know,
they have time. They have committed time in this relationship. Yeah.
So it's, you know. So again, you know, I agree with that rating. It's C plus about, you know, for this. It's not the worst movie ever. No. I think it's a nice.
It's a super safe movie.
It is. It's very safe, and that's why I think it's out in February. Yeah. Now again, not to give anything away, but if Will Smith's revelation at the end that we thought was real, if that had been true, then you would have been like, man, that is fucked up.
Yeah, that would have turned the movie on its head.
That would have turned the whole movie on its head. But
and you know what? It also would have given the movie a purpose.
Yeah.
Like it would have given it a moral or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but no.
Yeah, no.
None of that.
No.
Like literally, here's the funny thing, and again, all movies. It's not like all movies need to follow the same formula. Okay. But typically, I'm generalizing here, but typically when you have a movie where the characters go in and they're literally the exact same characters that leave the screen as when they got on the screen, it's probably not a very good movie. Yeah. And that's exactly what happens here.
Yeah. Neither of them changed.
Neither of them changed. No one's learned anything. There's nothing happens here that is of any consequence.
Yeah. I will say Margot Robbie is going to be in a movie. Well, the two of them are both going to be.
No, she's been in 2 movies.
The two of them are going to both be in Suicide Squad.
That's right.
Because he's Deadshot. That's right. And she's Harley Quinn. But she's going to be in a movie that I'm interested in seeing. That was on the was it Sundance maybe, I forget, but it's called Z for Zachariah, and it stars her and Chris Pine and Chiwetel Ejiofor, and it's almost
like it was made for Sundance.
No. It played at Sundance. Okay. It's a movie that played at Sundance.
I thought you meant the
and it's kind of like, remember that show Jericho? Where there's
I didn't watch it, but yes,
it's kind of like that.
Okay.
She lives on a farm by herself, and there was a nuclear attack or something like that.
Right.
And then these two guys come to her farm, and it's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to be really cool.
Z for Zachariah.
Huh. So I think it's coming out. I think it'll come out later this year.
Right.
But I'm interested in seeing that with her, because she's a good actress. I like.
She is. Yeah. This is not a fault of the actors here. This is all story based.
Yeah.
Will Smith's fun to watch on screen here. Yeah. She's great. Again, just the roles are just very cookie cutter.
B.D. Wong puts in a great performance.
He does.
He shows up. He shows for one great scene.
He does. And he is for once not playing a FBI forensic analyst
or a priest,
right?
Or a psychiatrist, because he was a priest on Oz.
And that's what I meant, psychiatrist.
He's a psychiatrist. And what was the other guy's name? The big fat guy? It was like Martinez.
Oh, right. Adrian Martinez Farhan.
No, well, that's his character's name, Farhan.
Oh,
so Adrian Martinez. That guy's funny as shit. He was really funny.
Was probably kind of the highlight of this movie.
Yeah, he was hilarious whenever he was on screen. I wish we had seen more.
I recognized him too.
Yeah, I've seen him in other stuff.
He's in Gotham. He is in Gotham. Yeah, he was in that. He was in that one episode of Gotham, where he. I think he was one of the cops.
Oh, okay.
I think he was one of the cops. Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, he's in American Hustle.
American Hustle. I don't remember him in American Hustle. Anyway, he's kind of one of those. It's one of those faces you just happen to know.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez. He was hilarious.
So he was very good.
And I wish they had more of his team. Like, I like that because they kind of had like an Ocean's 11 feel to it.
Yeah, because they had this whole sitcom system going.
Yeah,
and that was pretty fun to watch them work.
Yeah.
But then in the end, it just kind of was just him almost being solo.
Yeah.
So anyway, the movie just doesn't really fully work.
No, it doesn't, and it's a shame because I was looking forward to this one. I thought it was going to be pretty good.
I did not.
But well, I mean, the caveat is that it is coming out in February, so there's always that. It's rare when there's a movie in February.
I never
Lego Movie being one of them is that's one movie that came out in February that was awesome.
Yeah.
Because everything is awesome.
Yeah, and that was an awesome part of the Oscars too. But that
was
the best part of the Oscars.
And that was Will Arnett.
Yeah, it was Will Arnett wearing the Batman costume. Hilarious.
Darkness.
Dead parents.
But yeah, so Hot Tub Time Machine 2 and Focus, you can probably skip them in the theater.
Yeah, no need.
They're not bad to watch on cable, but there's no need to go waste your money at the theater.
It's really funny seeing someone like Will Smith, who used to just everything he did was box office gold, to kind of watch his.
Well, it's like Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise, same thing.
It's happened before. That was weird.
Harrison Ford.
And that was weird too. But it's odd to see these
people
fall off their pedestal. Yeah. It's gonna happen.
It happens. I mean, yeah.
And that's not to say that Will Smith is a bad actor.
No,
it's not to say that he won't have a comeback. It's just he's just making some really, really bad movies.
And the days of movie stars selling movies are kind of over.
It's true.
Internationally is one thing, because I think Tom Cruise still does very well internationally.
Well, that's what Edge of Tomorrow did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Live, Die, Repeat.
Whatever. So, but now it's more concepts are
Yes.
the big thing, so it's like the superhero movies and the Transformers movies make a lot of money.
Which, at least for me, that's kind of going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, at least to me, that's leaning more towards the story than just some guy who's playing somebody.
Yeah,
more
bit.
so. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying
a little bit.
As far as the needle goes, at least it seems like it's kind of going that way.
Just because, they'll make a movie out of anything these days, so it's like, fuck. Did you see the photo from that Gem movie that they're making?
Yeah,
terrible.
Keytar in there.
Granted,
I will see it.
Granted, it's one picture, but I'm just like, that looks terrible.
Well, sure, but it's based on a cartoon. Of course it's not going to be.
And that's the thing. That's what I've said about Transformers. You go back and watch those original Transformers cartoons from like '84, and unless it's like a 3-parter or something like that, like the individual episodes, they're terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah, they don't hold up.
They're just terrible. It's great for nostalgia.
Yeah.
And like the properties are cool.
Yeah.
But if you actually go and watch the actual cartoons, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, same thing.
There's a lot of stuff from the 80s is like that.
That?
You know what I tried to watch the other day? I tried to go back and rewatch some Knight Rider.
Uh-huh.
I watch it and I'm like, oh, this isn't good at all. I love this show.
You know what's not terrible from the 80s? DuckTales. Woo! And that'll do it for episode 67 of the Hodgepodge podcast. Next episode, as we just said, we'll probably be talking about Chappie.
I am consciousness.
I am alive. I am Chappie. I don't know, maybe we'll go see that Vince Vaughn movie. I don't know. Unfinished Business? It looks funny. It's R, isn't it? I think it's R.
Yeah, okay. It looks like I'll laugh, but it also looks as funny as it is that it will equally be unfunny.
Yeah.
Like Dave Franco's character just looks completely stupid and unrealistic.
Yeah.
Way too naive.
We saw a trailer. There's a bunch of movies come out in March. There's The Gunman, which we saw the trailer for with Sean Penn, and we're just
Maybe it'll be good.
We're like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? And then there's
Run All Night, or I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean Road to Perdition?
Road to Perdition.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's new movie. They're like, I have to protect my son from the mobsters because I killed this guy, and I'm like,
the mobsters that were my friends.
Yeah, the mobsters that my friends are coming to kill my son. I'm like, that's called Road to Perdition, and it was a lot better with Tom Hanks.
Hey, I'll bet he dies in the end.
Probably. Is Jude Law taking pictures of everyone in this movie? So there's a bunch of movies coming out in March as we inch ever closer to the summer movie season and Avengers.
Or even the spring. Let's just get.
Or even the spring. Well, that's March. March is spring.
It's end of March.
Daylight savings time's coming up next week. So anyway, we'll see you next time, folks.
See ya.